Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the NFL news lately, you know that the offseason has been anything but boring, especially for the Washington Commanders. And today, we have a development that could shake up the entire NFC East. A move that might seem small on the surface, but has huge implications for the division and for Washington's future. It's about Najee Harris, yes, the former Steelers star, and the recent buzz around him involving a trade that might just land him right in our backyard. And trust me, the potential here is enormous. Let's get into the details. So Najee Harris, who was recently signed by the Los Angeles Chargers in this offseason's free agency, is now the center of attention again. Why? Well, it's because of an incident that happened during the 4th of July celebrations. According to reports, Harris suffered a superficial eye injury during a fireworks mishap at a public event, and his agent, Doug Hendrickson, made a statement saying that Najee is expected to be fully ready for the upcoming NFL season. But here's the catch. This injury might cause him to miss the start of training camp, giving the Chargers an opening to evaluate their options. You see, the Chargers, who just brought Najee Harris into their fold, also drafted Amarian Hampton in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft. That's a clear indication that Los Angeles is already seeing Harris as part of a competitive backfield, but also as someone who might face challenges earning the starting role. Hampton is an exciting talent, a young player with a lot of potential, and if Harris isn't available at the beginning of camp, Hampton could seize that opportunity and claim the starting position outright. Now, the Chargers do have other backs like Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vittle, so they're not exactly desperate, but it's clear that Harris's injury and the crowded backfield open up possibilities for trades, and that's where the Washington Commanders come into the picture. Now, I know many of you are thinking, wait, how does Najee Harris fit into Washington's plans? Well, let's analyze that. The Commanders, in their recent surprising run to the NFC Conference Championship game, showed flashes of real promise. Led by rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels, who made quite an impact in his first year, and a solid defense under Dan Quinn, the team has a good foundation. But if you look closely, one of the key areas that need improvement is the running game. And that's exactly where Najee Harris could come in, and I mean big time. Right now, Washington's backfield is stacked with Austin Ekeler and Brian Robinson Jr. But here's the thing, Ekeler, despite being incredibly talented, is aging and showing signs of decline. His production has dipped slightly, and with his contract and age, it's clear the team needs to start thinking about the future. Robinson Jr., on the other hand, is a talented runner, but he's more suited for a secondary role, perhaps as a change-of-pace back or a power runner in certain situations. The problem is, relying on him as the primary guy puts too much pressure on Jayden Daniels to do the heavy lifting on the ground. That's not ideal, especially if Washington wants to keep progressing and avoid stagnation. This is where Najee Harris fits the picture perfectly. Harris is a downhill runner, powerful, physical, and capable of fighting through contact and breaking tackles in open space. For the Commanders, adding a guy like him means having a true workhorse back, someone who can take on the brunt of the rushing load and wear down defenses over the course of a game. Imagine what this could do to open up the passing game. With Harris pounding the rock consistently, defenses would have to respect the run, and that creates more opportunities for play-action passes and explosive plays through the air. His track record speaks for itself. In his first 4 seasons with the Steelers, Najee Harris rushed for an impressive 399 yards and scored 28 touchdowns. That kind of production shows durability, consistency, and the ability to carry a heavy workload. For Washington, that kind of reliability is exactly what they need to elevate their offense and push towards becoming a more balanced unit. And let's not forget, Harris is still young enough, just entering his prime to be a key piece for several seasons. Now, some of you might be wondering about the logistics. Would the Chargers actually trade Najee Harris? Well, with the injury incident and the presence of Omarion Hampton, who's seen as a rising star, the Chargers could be open to listening to offers. If they start taking calls, Washington makes perfect sense as a landing spot. The Commanders are looking to build a strong, versatile ground attack, and Harris could be the perfect piece to do that. Plus, considering the team's current roster, adding a proven power back like Najee could help them leapfrog into the top tier of NFC contenders. And let's talk a little about the division. The NFC East is fiercely competitive right now. The Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants are all loaded with talent, and Washington needs to step up its game to stay relevant. A reliable, powerful running back can be a game changer, especially in close games or playoff scenarios. Having Harris in the backfield means you're not just hoping your quarterback or receivers carry the load. You have a true ground-and-pound threat that can control the clock, wear down defenses, and set up the entire offense for success. Oh, I want to highlight that the fit isn't just about replacing the current backs. It's about complementing them and creating a more dynamic offense. Harris's ability to fight through contact and gain tough yards in short yardage situations would take a lot of pressure off Jaden Daniels and the passing game. With Harris as a feature back, Washington could run a more balanced attack, something that teams would have a hard time stopping. And just imagine the fan reaction if this trade goes through. The energy in DC would be electric. Having Najee Harris in a Commander's uniform would be a major boost for the team's identity and confidence. It's a move that could send a message, not just to the division but to the entire NFC, that Washington is serious about contending and building a balanced, explosive offense. Of course, all this is speculation at this point, and we'll have to see how things unfold as the offseason progresses. But one thing is clear, if the Chargers decide to listen to offers, Washington should be at the top of the list. They have the draft capital and the need to make a splash move that can pay dividends immediately. Harris's talent, combined with the right scheme and coaching, could be the missing piece that elevates Washington from a good team to a true NFC powerhouse. And for all of you fans out there who are eager to see your team make a bold move, keep your eyes peeled. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and this potential Najee Harris trade is just one example of how quickly things can change in the league. The Commanders are building something special, and adding a player of Harris's caliber could be the next step in their evolution. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and let's see what the future holds for Washington. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Now I want to hear from you, the fans. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Najee Harris would be a perfect fit for the Commanders? Or do you believe there are other options that might be better suited? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. We're all in this together, and your insights help build the community of passionate Washington fans who always want the best for their team. And remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest news on the Washington Commanders. Whether it's trades, draft picks, or game previews, I've got you covered. So make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for everything you need to know to keep your fandom strong. This team is on the rise, and the best is yet to come. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Commanders!